Good afternoon, classmates. Good afternoon, sir. So we are the group 4, and we will be discussing about realism. So what comes in your mind when you hear the word realism? To explain further, let's proceed to the next part. Realism is derived from the word real from its origin Greek word res, which means object. The realistic corroborates that what we see and what we experience around us is truth. In addition, realism is concerned about the fact or the reality of what we see is the truth. One of the realists is Herbert Spencer. He said that realism is the theory that holds the existence of the object is real. Herbert Spencer also said that education is complete living. Next is characteristics of realism. Existence of objects independent of knowledge. Qualities are inherent in known objects. Knowledge does not affect the object. Knowledge of objects is direct. Objects are common. Relation between objects are found. So these are the characteristics of realism. Characteristics in realism. Characteristics is important in all aspects of living. It emphasizes the situation in real life.
Good day everyone, my name is Vainabel Katubi. So let's move on the next part, which is the principles of realism. First, worldly realities of everyday life are true. Indeed, it is true because they are currently happening and people feel it. For instance, the impact of COVID-19 is felt all over the world. And it is the reality that we are facing today, where many people talaga nakaingawarang trabaho and nagutman. In our everyday life, the ways in which people typically act or think on a daily basis, we breathe. It is a life reality and innate to living species. It is true because we felt it without sensory. Next is, it does not believe in the existence of any absolute truth. Everyone has their own version of truths. Each one of us believes in different truths. Kung hindi tayo makaingon na sa'yo, kung nagitubuan. Di mo na yung dapat. Because para niya mo na yung tuuhan. Didakan na andan nga culture so that it is true for him. It accepts only sensory experiences of the external world as real. Realism rejects anything that does not engage the five senses: taste, touch, smell, hearing, and sight. These sensory experiences are an indicator that the object is real, and responding to it makes it effective. By means of our senses, we perceive that the world directly and give meaning to our claims. Next, it looks at man like a physical being controlled by rules and laws. Basically, this imposes that our lives are anchored on laws and rules in the society. We even have our principles in which we let ourselves be guided by. For example, laws and ethics. This drives how we live. Lastly, real knowledge is obtained by analysis and experiencing sensations. So according to this, we gain knowledge through analysis. Let's say, for example, science. As we all know, science is more on experiments and it's more hands-on. Or sa atong own first-hand experiences. We learn either by absorbing information from others or by experiencing them for ourselves. Okay, let's move on to the next, the realism and the teacher. First, having a solid grounding in science, math, and the humanities. Basically, it is not just focusing on science or not just focusing on math, because the teacher or the realist teacher believes that the 21st century learner encompasses a lot of areas. They make sure that the teacher will boost in all subject areas because When the students questions about something or when the students ask about something, the teacher should not say that, oh, this is not my area of expertise, or teacher will say, I don't know about this, I don't have an idea about this. But then the role of the teacher is to satisfy the inquiring mind of the students. Next, readily adapting new technology. Instead of the teacher being the only source of learning in the classroom, students can now access websites, online tutorials, and more to assist them. They see the new technology as important, so they will adapt it or they will use it in education. Lastly, the teacher presenting ideas in a clear and consistent manner and demonstrating that there are defined ways to judge works of art, music, poetry, and literature. So here, the teacher would give an example, like teacher will say, okay class, I will give you one or two examples of good literature is, good art is, good music is. Then after that, the students are expected to do the same thing on their own with other pieces of other works of arts or works of music. So setting an example is helpful because that is reality. We learn by observing, we learn by imitating, we learn by what other people do, and those kinds of practices that the teacher would involve in. Next, realism and curriculum. First, emphasis is on subject matter, highly organized and systematic in approach. A realist teacher believes that the curriculum should be subject-centered. You should teach specific subjects and you should break down in a systematic way. A teacher likes classroom the way they are set up today, the way they work, because that is how they see teaching happening in a very systematic and organized way. And the last one, use of objects in education. So here, use manipulative things or objects in the classroom. Students could play around with and experience. The realist teacher wants students to experience the reality of the classroom, and therefore objects and materials that students can play with, handle, work with the teacher would appreciate.
The aim of realistic education is to have a happy and integrated life, such as to give every student a complete knowledge and understanding of human society, human nature, motive, and institutions. It is also for preparing every child to lead a happy and contented life, and a developing awareness in the child of his surroundings and a real world around him, and also to provide sensory training so that he is able to have thorough knowledge of the external world. The American educationalist Franklin Bobbitt: happiness in life may achieve by fulfillment of human responsibilities and obligations, such as activities concerned with language, like for example this one, playing Scrabble. It helps to expand their vocabulary, critical thinking, and teaching students how to think more productively and evaluate ideas. So the next one is activities concerned with hygiene. So personal hygiene not only helps in keeping oneself clean, but also prevents spread of infectious disease. Teaching children about hygiene and creating a personal hygiene routine for them and develop a healthy personality, being clean, well-dressed, well-presented, and boost one's self-image, which in turn increase their confidence and their chances of success in professional as well as the social lives. Citizenship activities. So these are the people or the local citizens who generously contribute to the good of the community, obeying the rules, helping others, and being responsible for your own actions and how they affect others. This is ordinary social activities. So it is an activity that is something that you spend time doing. So the purpose of this is how to have enjoyment, relaxation, stimulations, and belongings. For example, meet up groups, community, so you can get some much needed interaction. That's it. So leisure activities. So leisure activities have considerable importance because your mind feel relaxed. You'll be empowering yourself to deal with situation in a less stressful way. Example, listening to music, outside adventure, and this activity chosen for pleasures or emotional satisfactions, typically after work and other responsibilities are done. Mental health is a vital to overall personality's wellness. So here are some example activities that can help to improve your overall psychological well-being. Get plenty of sleep, pet a dog, and doing some yoga. It is a fantastic tool for reducing anxiety and depression. Teachers' activities is defined as any activities that primarily promotes or manifests a particular belief in or about an ultimate reality. It is the practice of religion may also include ceremonies, worship, marriage to funerals, or the public service or other aspects of human culture. So activities concerning race, preservation. So our race is so connected with our culture. So if you think that is good for every humanity to exist, then it would be better for the best race, and there is nothing wrong with preserving our race and culture. So what are the vocational activities? So if you are learning a skill that could lead to a specific job, like how to repair cars or to be a chef. So vocational means it is related to a career or a vocation. Then vocation is a job. So vocational is a specific kind of work. So the method of teaching according to realism is to abstract from the personality of both the teacher and the pupils and allows the facts to speak for them. So the role of the teacher in realism is to identify the needs of the learner and to serve as the resource person, because realism holds that reality exists independent of the human mind. Matter in the universe is real and independent of man's ideas. So the teacher is expected to have the full knowledge of the content and the needs of the children. It is the duty of the teacher to tell the children about discoveries and researches by others in the field of knowledge. And a teacher should know whom to teach, why to teach, when to teach, and how to teach. That would be all. Thank you.